I will.
Good evening, Pittsburgh sports fans. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Joining me, as always, my two co-hosts, Edward and Tracy. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening. How is everyone?
Hi, Eddie. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Trace. Doing great. How are we doing? How's everybody out there in TV land?
I think we're doing well.
I do too.
All right. So got some stuff. We're going to talk Browns. Coming off the bye week. I know we got a lot of questions about the Browns here and how they're going to stack up against the Browns. Let's talk the win last night for the Penguins. The new coach facing the old coach, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's one game, but it was. They did what they needed to do. So we'll get into that. We're going to be heavy on Steelers tonight, but we also want to talk Pitt football. That big win against Boston College. Boston College sucks. I mean, let's not. Let's not.
We're not sugarcoating anything here, Billy.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not sugarcoat it. Happy Wednesday, hello guys. Hello, Daniel. Happy Wednesday, brother. Thank you for tuning in. So we don't get any yo anymore from Daniel. So lost my train of thought. I mean Boston College. I tell you what, man, this true freshman quarterback, I'm liking him, and we'll get into get into breaking down Florida State. A little bit of harder test for them this Saturday. Yeah, so we'll get into that. But without further ado, let's talk Steelers here. And I know we compiled some questions that we basically wanted to go over and discuss. You know what? I mean, crazy about Flacco getting traded to the Bengals, huh? I mean, that crazy. I didn't really see that coming.
They had to do something, though.
Well, the Bengals need help, and I mean, that's. I mean, it's it was a win-win for both teams. I really believe. I'm going to say this. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist on this whole thing with the Browns, but I really think that Jimmy Haslam wanted him gone because I really think he's pushing for Shador. I think Dylan Gabriel is on a leash, and I think that he's basically like, hey, this thing goes south with Gabriel. I want Shador in there. So I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but
what's behind it though? What do you think's behind it? If it's a true conspiracy theory, what's driving?
I don't know. I just think that I don't know. They drafted him, and they don't want to be wrong about him. And they, I know they drafted Gabriel too, but I mean, they're really. I think Haslam's really pushing for Shador for some reason. That's just maybe I'm off on that. I don't know. So, what's up, Mike? How we doing, Mike?
With the team. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's first topic. How's the Steelers offense going to perform against this tough Cleveland defense? Hey guys, this team ranks first in run defense, boasts a strong pass rush. Led by Garrett, led by Mason Graham. Let's say you guys, what do you think? How's this gonna look?
Well, I think, first of all, it's going to be the ultimate test on how to pick up a blitz and really what are you going to do when Myles Garrett moves up and down the line to find the weakest person? Because he's going to find weaknesses in Fautanu. He's definitely going to find weaknesses in the left tackle. That might just be a bridge too far for them. And if they have to bring somebody in to help out the left tackle, then that limits the amount of routes they can do and dedicates a blocker.
Well, that's what they've been doing. They've been doing 13 personnel. and they do that. I know it limits the targets Rodgers has. I know. I know. Mike's asking, does Jaylen Warren come back this week? You know what?
I thought he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it said
think
he was coming off the injury list. Yes.
yeah, but I don't know I don't know if they're going to split the carries up or what. I mean, Gainwell, I don't know, man. 99 yards. I mean, you had I
I
don't
think
know.
he's your bell cow right now.
Yeah, I think he might be. I think Warren might be a little limited.
Well, I
So,
mean, you can't escape the fact that Warren is definitely injured, right? And coming off an injury, what they say in the NFL is when you think you're ready to go, you're probably a week away. So
right.
to have him come off, I think that you have to use Gainwell. Gainwell doesn't take as many hits either.
Yeah,
I noticed
no, he doesn't.
with his running style, and they might need a little bit of pop. You can't have a slow developing play against this defense; you'll just get swallowed up.
Yeah,
Well, no, I think one of the things that the Steelers do well is when they bring that extra tackle in as a tight end, and they're bringing Washington in as well. That's like a huge unbalanced line. I think that kind of negates what Cleveland's speed and strength is able to do, and they're able to find them creases through it there. I think they're going to do well with that. And then Dinkin and Duncan, that's going to negate that pass rush.
Yeah. He says, how are you guys liking Kenny G? You know what? He plays a mean alto sax. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to let you know.
And he's able to run the ball as well.
He is able to run the ball, and he catches out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have that success, Trace. I just don't. They don't have a team ready to take on a defensive line like this. I mean, maybe they get lucky with one or two, but I mean, this is a good defense. It really is.
Well, yeah, this good defense. I watched that.
Detroit
Really
has
knocked his
10,000
team
weapons.
drive right down the field and scored the end of the
Pittsburgh
game on them. I think we'll do just fine.
You don't have anything near the Minnesota offense. You don't have anything near the Detroit offense. You just don't. You don't have the weapons. You don't. Each of those teams has three.
I said it before. The Packers. Mike liked that. Yeah, the mean out that sacks. No, I love Kenny. I like it. I like it. I really like Kenny G. I'm glad that he's a Steeler. I like what I saw in Dublin. I loved it. I was giddy watching that game. You can ask my counterparts with Still City Sunday. I was just like, wow, finally they get it. They've established a running game. I think a quick passing game is what you're going to need for this. Okay, I think Rodgers has a fast release. We know that. One of the quickest in the NFL. I think it's like 2.52 seconds is what it averages out. I think you just got it with a quick release that minimizes the effectiveness of the strong pass rush that Cleveland's got. I think. I mean,
Pittsburgh's second to last in running rush yards per game. They're going against the number one rush defense. They're not running the ball.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're not.
So, Billy, with Austin being out, Wilson might actually see a couple of these passes. Do you think he'll do all right with this?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I
think, like I said, I think you need to get the ball out before they can get home, man. I think
I think he'll do well there. I think he's got them quick feet and quick hands.
I think the short, high percentage throws, try to generate yards after the catch. That's what I think you need to do. That's how I think you need to. Yak. I mean, that's what you need to do. You need to neutralize Garrett. However, you need to do that. They need a dedicated game plan to neutralizing him. He's a game wrecker. I know Rodgers called him that. The game wrecker.
Yes.
I don't know. So, but yeah, I mean,
may just be a turnstile. I might want to give him tickets now, just so we can hand him as they come through the turnstile. Because that guy's going to be deep trouble.
I don't think it's going to be pretty on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Early down.
The next question: given the Browns' defensive strengths, how can the Steelers establish a successful run game, especially considering their current ranking as second worst team in the NFL in rushing yards per game?
Stay away from it. Quick pass.
No, it's bringing Anderson and Washington in.
Yeah. Set up the pass. Use the pass to set up the run.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to be creative, I think, in finding rushing lanes. It's the Browns. I mean, statistically, they're the best against the run in the NFL. you know, I mean, I know it's going to be hard, but you really want to try to establish some sort of running game to keep the defense honest. You know, I mean, I just think that you got to do something.
Does our
One thing-
defense score points then, Billy, off any turnovers here? Do we have to? Is that what we're relying on again?
I don't know. I just think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think the Steelers will win. This is going to be a low scoring game. I just think that this is going to be. I'm not afraid of at all of the. I mean, the only thing I'm afraid of, Dylan Gabriel's. They have a lot of youth on that offense, and I'm a little bit afraid of that because that can be troublesome, especially when you have an old.
Well, they utilize the tight ends well.
Yeah. Quashon Judkins is a good running back.
Yeah.
So I'm not really that scared of their offense. I'm scared of the youthfulness. That's what I'm afraid of youthfulness. When you have a aging defense like the Steelers have, that's what I'm afraid of. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think that.
To your point, the over-under is 38.5.
Yeah, which I think is going to be high in this game.
That might be high.
Yeah, I could see like a 13-10, game. I really could.
Wow.
Here's another thing I want to touch on real quick. Well, hold on. Let me look at these questions we have here. God, there's a lot of questions.
Number two.
God, this is going to be like a 2-hour show with all these damn questions here.
It's so fast, baby.
So
I could read it a little faster.
So go ahead. You go ahead and no. So
Eddie, do it.
So you got some key guys returning off of injury. Tomlin said so yesterday. I mean, what do you think about this? I mean,
Porter, Highsmith, Warren. I think they're not dynamic. They have Jerry Jeudy wide out, so that's going to be negated by one of the DBs. Getting back, Alex Highsmith is good for the pass rush, but the key to this pass rush, since it's a left-handed quarterback, is TJ Watt because he's coming from that side. So they're going to have to be careful. They're going to double him, which is going to force all the pressure toward Alex Highsmith. We'll see if he's truly healthy or not. And then getting back Jalen Warren just adds another tool to Aaron Rodgers' toolkit in trying to defeat this defense. I think it's a positive sign that they're coming back, but a couple of people are going to lose their jerseys and they're going to have to be inactives. So you're going to lose a little bit on special teams, maybe, but you don't know about that. But overall, it's good to get people back, I would assume. The healthier you are, they're one of the healthiest teams in the NFL, considering the injuries that are ravaging the NFL right now. They need to go and take that horseshoe that's up their ass, clean it off, and put it right back up because they are one of the.
You'd say that, but I mean, these are three key guys that were out that are now coming back. Finally, we have a couple others that are out too.
They're not out anymore. That was the point. They're back. Take the horseshoe, wash it off a little bit so you don't get lead poisoning, and shove it right back up because they are lucky that they're not in these other teams' issues that they have.
Very fortunate. I think that they're going to be able to communicate a lot better in the defensive backfield, though, too, Billy.
Yeah,
and also I think Highsmith is going to set that edge in the running game. Sorry,
that was a major issue. No, that was a major issue. With this, with communication. We've seen that, and especially in the secondary, where you have to communicate. When you don't have guys in there that normally are in there, you're going to have some communication breakdowns for sure. I'm going to say this. I think, the Browns, I know Jim Schwartz, they're known for deploying the cover 2, right? And, we know what the cover 2 does. That basically that's a defense that basically forces offenses to try and throw short, So I think, you got to utilize that. I think Rodgers make precise throws, take advantage of any short routes that you have down, I think it's going to be it's going to be yak targeting versus cover 2. I mean, like I said, cover 2 is designed to limit the big plays. And I think you just got to do the short passing game. Roman Wilson, you want to know what you got in Roman Wilson. You talk about Gainwell catching balls out of the backfield. This is a perfect game to to deploy that type of offense, a short passing game. So,
yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be quick. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
Okay, let's look and see what we got. Considering the Browns guys are coming off a long flight back from London, and the Steelers are coming off this bye. They're well rested. How much do you think you're going to have any fatigue in this game at all?
Yeah. They basically lost a night of sleep. Takes on average, this is according to the Sleep Foundation, on average a day, a time zone you jump. They jumped 5 and then 5 back. So they're not going to be in the best state of mind. It's an early game on Sunday. So I think it's going to have a certain effect on it. But again, will it determine the game? Don't know. Trace?
I don't think it'll affect it that much. They've already been back home for a little bit here. They should be just about acclimated to their time zone.
Very good, Tracy.
Yeah.
7.
You said it takes about 24 hours, and you're about there. You can go halfway across the world and get that done. They'll be all right.
No, it's according to Sleep Foundation, because I did my research today because I'm so busy at work, per time zone, 1 day per time zone to get over it. They jumped 5. So that's 5 days. So it's right about tracking about game time. And will it have an effect? I think it will. Slight effect, not all that great, but I think it will.
I don't think it's going to have an effect. I think the rivalry is going to pump it up enough that there's going to be no effect of they played a game in London and lost.
I think
adrenaline is going to carry them.
I think it's going to have an effect because let's face it. So first of all, you're dealing with granted, it's a week later, but you're also they're going to be there's limited practice time because you're having that flying, so you lost a day there. Just there's a little bit of a lapse in the game prep, I think. You know what I mean? It's a short week. It's a short week for the Browns. And I don't know. You've got a quarterback. Let's segue into this. You got Dylan Gabriel making his second NFL start for the Browns. Has a little bit of inexperience. We saw that in a little bit in London. He played I don't know. Would you say he played a good game? I thought he played a decent game.
I thought he did.
They didn't win, but
super accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that there's there's things that they can do to kind of disrupt, the young man, the rhythm, I don't know.
What's their receiving threats?
Jerry Jeudy.
Is it like what kind of is it a possession receiver? Are we talking a guy that takes the top off? What are we talking about?
Jerry Jeudy's a Pro Bowl wide receiver. He's a very good receiver. Njoku's one of the better tight ends in the league.
Yes, I do know him. Yes.
They have another supplementary tight end who's decent, but primarily that's where the game's going to go through. It's going to go through those two. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Right. That's the way. That's the heartbeat of their team. And now with the effective running game they have, which it is, Junkins can run the ball, man.
He can run the ball. Yeah,
he is.
I agree.
Legit.
Right.
I think it's going to be determined by that. It truly is. You have Isaiah Bond, brand new out of Texas, or 1 year in out of Texas. Then you got Jamari Thrash, isn't bad. You got a backup Cedric Tillman, but he's on IR, so he's out. Cade McDonald was out at tight end. And Njoku's their best tight end, no doubt about it. Harold Spannon Jr. is okay, but he's nowhere near as good as Njoku. But if
Harmon and Benton do what they're supposed to do and actually create a little bit of havoc in the middle of that offensive line, I think we'll be okay. But covering the Njoku, I don't know we're able to do that.
Trace, that's the strength of their offensive line, and they're good, man. You have Wyatt Teller and Joel Batonia. That's the strength of their line.
I think Harmon is our strength at this point, but Benton played very well the last game. If he continues,
I thought he played well. I thought Benton played a lot better.
Yes, but he played against backups. You got to remember that he played against backups and did what he was supposed to do against backups.
If it continues, we'll be all right, and if not, we might have some trouble. We'll see.
Batonia and Teller are Pro Bowl caliber.
Oh, I know those guys. Yeah. Yes,
they can play, man. Those are two of the best guards in the NFL. Yeah. So, Jack Conklin is great at right tackle. Their left tackle is a little suspect, and he's also questionable. Leviston, but they have Cam Robinson behind him, and they were switching him in and out last week anyway. Cam Robinson, they got a trade. He's from Auburn. They got him out of a trade from Houston because Houston thought their offensive line was so great they traded him to Cleveland. But I mean, really, I can't believe they did that. But it's a solid offensive line, man. I think the biggest thing I saw with Gabriel is that he was, instead of a 5-step drop, it was probably a 4 and 14 16ths of yards. He doesn't get all the way back.
No.
You know, he's only 6 foot, so that hurts him a little bit, but he doesn't get all the way back. So if he's able to hit his depth the right way, he gets the ball out quick, man.
Yeah,
he just does. You know, and they got Jerome Ford, they got Dylan Sampson, they have, you know, the Tennessee backs, and they got the Ohio State. They're good in running backs. That is a stable of backs they can bring out.
Yeah,
So,
and that's their
biggest problem is they only have 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
Right. Beyond X's and O's, how much is this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Beyond X's and O's, how much is the rivalry factor going to come into play with this being an AFC?
Yeah, the AFC. Tracy called that the adrenaline's going to make up for the lack of sleep and lack of prep that you were talking about, Billy.
Yeah.
Trace, thoughts?
Yeah, I do think the Browns defense is going to bring it. I think it's going to come and be nasty. It might even have that feel like the Steelers and the Ravens back in the day when we had their defense up against Bettis. It might be like that. Let's see. That'd be fun to watch a game like that again.
Well, I mean, O-line our Steelers O-line versus D-line. It's going to be a war of attrition, battle in the trenches, if you will. I mean, you know, we know, you know, you got your pass protection. I think we've done a little bit better job in recent weeks. However, you know, you face a major challenge against the Browns in a very good defensive front. You know, and you know, I think that you know, you're going to look at. You know, Rodgers is going up against, you know, he's got to account for Garrett. He's got to account for Graham, right?
Graham's going to get a great push up the middle.
Yeah. So, you know, well, yeah, he's a pretty, you know,
top 10 guy.
Yeah, he's a rookie defensive tackle that's really made an emergence as of late. I will say one thing, and I want to make it a point to say this. You know, Rodgers has experience against Jim Schwartz. Okay, you know, I mean, he has a lot of extensive. When you know, he coordinated defenses. You know, up in when he was with Detroit. You know, so I mean, it's Rodgers has experience going against Jim Schwartz defense. You know, and. Like I said, I think the key is going to be quick release, short passes, you know, and just, you know, and you got to be efficient in the damn red zone too. You got to be efficient in the red zone. You know, inside the 20, you got to turn drives into touchdowns. If you know, I mean, field goals are good too, but you got to really, you know, scoring opportunities, I think in this game might be a little bit limited. I'm just saying.
Got to come away with points. Either way, come away with points.
Correct.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be the Steelers were favored by 4.5. They're actually favored by 5.5 now. So some money was coming in on them. But it's gonna be an interesting test. And I agree with the over under. It's the shortest. It's the smallest number in over under. It's 38. Everyone else is in the 40s. So they recognize that there's not much there as far as scoring to be had. So. You guys are correct. You have to maximize every possession. Every possession should end in a kick.
Correct.
Either a field goal or a punt.
Right. What are the key individual matchups that could determine the game, guys? Like I think we talked about it. Myles Garrett versus the Steelers offensive line. How about Denzel Ward versus, you know, Steelers receivers? How about really when you look at it? How about DK Metcalf versus Denzel Ward? I mean, when you look at it, yeah, I mean, when you look at it, you know, you got a big body receiver going against a smaller but athletic corner in Denzel Ward. You know, I don't know his ability to you know, to cover Metcalf, it could be the real big time factor. And if you can hit on plays downfield, we know that, hey, when you have a big bodied receiver going against a smaller, sometimes you can get those combat catches,
But I think one of the other factors, Billy, is Rodgers can put the ball there for DK to get.
Well, that's what I mean, is going up for those combat catches. That's what I mean.
Well, not just the combat catch. I think that the quarterback can place it to where our guy can get it. That's going to be a difference rather than it being like, Kenny Pickett just sailing it up there in the air.
I'm sorry, Trace. His name is actually Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett. Thank you very much. And we have to give a shout out to Mr. Bojarski, great American man. He is our leader. Well, not Tracy bailed on the team. But anyway, he's our leader. So we have to give a shout out and say, what's up? But yeah, Tracy, every time you use Kenny Pickett's name, please use Super Bowl champion.
That's hilarious, Eddie.
Tracy, text me on Saturday. Remind me to smack the taste out of Ed's mouth on Saturday. When we're covering the Riverhounds and he's enjoying that cowboy burger, remind me to just smack the onion ring right out of his effing mouth.
That's kind of funny. I want to see it on video.
And I'm sorry, I would be remiss if I didn't give you the quotes from the office this week. Lebaron, the French native from another place, thinks that it's going to be a close game, but he's picking the Steelers. And Dr. McCown had possibly the quote of maybe the year. His quote was, "You cannot put a dress on when you're already wearing pants." I'm not sure what that means or what it's about, but anyway, that's from Dr. McCown to you guys. So
you actually can.
I was to say you can definitely put a dress on and wear pants.
That's what I thought as well. But in deference to Dr. McCown,
I'm imagining you in a dress right now, Edward.
I kind of thought.
You know what I would say? You know what I would say to that? I would say if he would have done it in opposite, you can't put on pants while wearing a dress.
But you can do that.
I hate pants, by the way. Like, I hate pants so much, I know how to say it even in Spanish. Adios los pantalones. I hate pants.
Adios pantalones. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to wear shorts, I think, because we're kind of working from home, right, because we're not getting paid. So I think it's time for shorts. Although tomorrow's going to be cold. But anyway, that was the quote that I was to impart to you from the great Dr. McCown. But go ahead,
I think this is a winnable game for the Steelers. I think there's just a few things they got to do. I think that they've got to be efficient on offense. They've got to find a way to take Myles Garrett out of the equation.
Right.
I think they got to maximize everything every time they make it in red zone. They got to try and maximize it.
Let me ask you a question on that Myles Garrett part. He's typically a player who moves around a ton. So what do you do? Because you can't really double when he's in the three, You do check with me's. Yeah, but how are you going to double him when he lines up over the center, when he lines up over the guards? I mean, that's going to expose anybody on the edge. Say you double him, and, Broderick doubles him with the guard. What are you going to do in the end? Because they're going to send somebody.
Yeah, and you're going to see 13 personnel from the Steelers. I guarantee it. They're going to come out in 13 personnel. And I don't like that necessarily because you're taking away targets.
Explosiveness.
But yeah, but I mean, but also you need somebody else extra to pick up the blitzes and to pick up the stunts and doing all that stuff. And you shouldn't have to do that really. But I mean, this O-line is just not good enough to contain. Yeah. So I mean, you have to add other personnel. And
I think Billy, they're not going to have Denzel Ward on DK. They're going to have Newsom. Newsom's a bigger corner. Yeah, he's just over 6 foot, and he's a bigger guy than Denzel. Denzel's very. I
don't think it matters which one of those two try to cover DK. We're going to do just fine.
Even with that draw, Tracy, I don't.
The point I made about Jim Schwartz and Rodgers.
Yeah, Billy.
The point I made about Jim Schwartz and Rodgers. I mean, do you think there's any validity to that, or?
I think Jim Schwartz is one of the best defense coordinators in the league, and he has a hell.
I didn't ask that. Do you think there's any validity to Rodgers having experience going against Jim Schwartz?
Well, you let me finish. That's when he was in Detroit as the head coach. and he was in.
Well, yeah, but he called a lot of the defensive plays
while they were playing the Packers. That Detroit didn't have a team back then. I don't think there's much there. I really don't. Maybe he sees a tendency every once in a while, but he's a totally different guy as a coordinator. Much, much better. He won a Super Bowl as a coordinator with Philadelphia, came over and took that Cleveland defense, which was basically shite, and he's made it into the number one defense. So is there a tendency that Rodgers might see after, what is that? Good God, that's what? It's almost 15 years. I don't know.
That's not 15 years.
He last coached in Detroit in 2010, I thought. Hold on, I'll check myself. Keep going.
Yeah, it's definitely not 15 years ago. I can tell you that much.
Keep going.
So
I don't know.
No, I mean that's the question I asked. I mean, it's nothing keeping going. I'm asking the question here.
I
I ain't keeping shit going.
He ain't keeping shit going. Hold on, let me get down. Let's see, Tennessee Titans. Let's see.
I mean, we call you the Rain Man for a reason. You're supposed to be able to fire this stuff off. You know.
I'm sorry, it was off by 2 years. It's been 12 years. He last coached for them in 2013, so it's been 12 years, over a decade. I was off by 3 years, but over a decade, 12 years. I don't know. I don't know that he's going to see many tendencies. I just don't.
Okay. Right.
I mean, he was Tennessee Titans, and Rodgers wasn't there. They didn't play that year. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Close though.
Let's talk a little bit AFC North here. Obviously, the trade to Flacco to the Bengals. What the hell? Oh, man, the Ravens just. I mean, wow, what an absolute embarrassment. CJ Stroud just picked them apart. I mean, God, it was pretty bad. So,
I mean, we didn't do our predictions.
What's that?
We didn't do our Steeler predictions.
All right, well, let's do them.
Go first, Tracy.
Oh, geez. It's going to be low scoring. 17-9 Steelers.
Edward?
I'm going to say it's going to be 15-11 Steelers.
Wow, that's a weird-ass score.
The weird-ass sport.
I'm going to say 20-10 Steelers.
Ooh, Billy, the double.
Good call.
So
solid choice, Billy.
Billy with the double up.
All right, let's. I mean, like I said, the Ravens are just in shambles. I don't. I mean, they're not gonna. They're.
How long is Lamar due to be out? Do we know? Sorry, Bill.
I think a couple more weeks.
They're in trouble then.
They didn't really say what he had. I mean, they didn't really actually say. They said lower body. I don't recall.
Well, yeah, I heard it was a hamstring, from what I understood. But
hammy.
But you know, that's what I had heard, and it's kind of been a nagging injury, and it's gotten worse. Yeah, I mean they're in trouble. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean they're in big trouble. How about Harbaugh getting booed off the field in Baltimore? And it was just, you know, I mean, there's high expectations. I think a lot of the fans are, you know, kind of up in arms. But you know,
see,
I mean,
here's the problem I have with the Ravens, though, and this is the big problem in the NFL, and I think this is coaching and front office. You don't go get that. I mean, there's no doubt that Cooper Rush is a good backup, but you don't go get that quarterback. Why would you?
Well, it's exactly that's you're completely changing your landscape of your offense by doing that. It's stupid. You have a dual threat quarterback who basically relies on those feet, in the dual threat plays such a pivotal role in their offense, and you got a guy that's backing him up that's a freaking pocket passer. So when he goes in there, your playbook is completely. You might as well throw the playbook out, because half the shit in there, he's not going to be even able to run.
Right. And now you have players that are injured on offense also. You know?
Yeah. So now all when you have a defense going up against them, all they got to do is say, hey guys, we know the plays he's going to run. We know he's their playbook is like 20% of what it was, so we know what we're going to be able to do against them,
You look at the other teams that have, like you look to Washington, they have Jane Daniels to back him up. They have Marcus Mariota, very similar player, and their third is Josh Johnson, right? I don't know why the Ravens ever got rid of Snoop Huntley. He was a perfect backup,
I thought he was too. I thought he fit that scheme really nice.
Well, he came in and basically was able to run the offense the same, and there was you're not limited in your playbook. Cooper Rush, you're totally limited in your playbook. You basically got to scrap that and say, okay, guys, here's what we got. Here's what we can run. And it's just a handful of plays.
Plus, Trace, talk to us about the blocking scheme for going from that sort of zone read with the RPO to what they're doing now, and specifically run defense because they can't run the ball. I mean, that's got to be an issue.
Well, now you got to maintain your discipline. Like before, they had to just react and then get out of the way and whatnot, start running down the field certain ways. Now they got to maintain their discipline. They can't let anybody by them. It's going to be totally different.
And it results in more holds, maybe.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yep. And that's what we saw against
technique
Houston.
Got to be solid now.
That's what we saw against Houston. We saw holds.
Right.
We saw sacks. We saw plays breaking down. You just saw all of that because why? Because they're not used to that type of blocking scheme.
And that's why you looked at and what's his name? Van Noy said, you look at San Francisco, they got injuries and they don't complain, but San Francisco has Brock Purdy, and what they do? They went and got Mac Jones, the exact same quarterback, just taller, right? He runs the exact same playbook. Everything is the same. That's how they're able to sustain. I think this was a mess by. I mean, they were excited to get a better. They made a mistake. There's no doubt about they did. I mean, it's just.
Well, obvious. They saw what he did at Dallas, and they're like, okay,
it's the same quarterback as Dak. He's the same one.
Exactly. Exactly. It's the same. I mean, they.
Right. Same.
Yeah. No, I mean you gotta do that when you have, especially when you have a guy like Lamar Jackson, because there's nobody else like him in the NFL. I mean, there's other guys that are like him, but not to the degree that he is. Okay, and I just think that you have to have somebody you have to have a dual threat backup. Period.
Yeah.
You cannot have a pocket passer in there and expect to have the same consistency and continuity on offense. You're just not going to have that. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Bingo.
So it's like I don't know. So,
no, you're correct. That's a fault of the coach and the general manager. They never should have done it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a 3-ton dump truck, and we got a 1-ton, and we're gonna be able to haul the same amount of dirt. No, you're not gonna be. It's not gonna be able to. Just not gonna be able to do it. No. So, but all right, let's move on. Let's talk Penguins. Last night
tomorrow. Ed.
What?
It's for. We'll show you the bit after. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
they call it samesies. I mean, that's basically what we're saying. When you have a quarterback, you have to do samesies.
Yeah,
it's a bit like a Saturday Night Live bit. We'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Great American Patriots. Go ahead, Billy.
But more the Penguins are on a run, man. That was pretty good, right, Billy?
Well, I tell you what, Justin Brazeau had 2 goals. Had that empty netter, had that goal early in the game. I thought they really stifled the Rangers. And I'll tell you something too. I liked Dan Muse's lineups. I thought his lineups were good. I thought his lines were just. I thought he had everybody where they needed to be. And I'm going to say this: that Archer Chauvis, I forget how to pronounce his name. I like this guy. Yeah, I like this guy. I know he was there's a guy he played some playoff games, has 16 playoff games under his belt. Was pretty good for Vancouver. I mean, he was behind some guys in Vancouver. But it was pretty good. I mean, he's won the job from Jari. Why Jari is still on this effing roster is just beyond me. Why you have a bum making $12 million that's just and I don't want to hear this BS. Oh, well, he got sent down last year to the minors. Okay.
Nobody wanted him.
Well, yeah, and then people were saying, well, when he got called back up, he played better. No, he didn't. He did not. He's terrible. The guy is. They should have never. You can blame Kyle Dubas for this stupidity of signing him to this 5-year deal. He's the one that. Yeah. Ultimately, he's the one that created this situation. So you can blame Kyle Dubas on that one. It was a stupid ass move. And, you're still having to pay for this. And, people say, well, just get rid of him. Well, you can't trade the guy, okay? Nobody wants him. They dangled him out there last year at the trade deadline. Nobody wanted him, okay? So, this Archer Service, hey, I think you start him. He obviously won the job in camp, and he looked this decent last night. I tell you what, he impressed me pretty good last night. I thought Evgeny Malkin played good last night. He had that assist on that goal. I thought he looked good last night. I thought he really played well last night.
That was right off the face-off. That was actually pretty sweet how he got that around and just fed it right over.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect. I thought I was impressed with Malkin. I thought he had a good game. Now, listen, this is game 1, okay? But, you go up to you go – yeah, you go up to to Madison Square Garden, MSG, and you're playing. You're playing. The Rangers, who are now coached by Mike Sullivan. And you know what? I mean, there was a little bit of a storyline going in that game, obviously. But the Penguins were there. I mean, they answered the bell, and I thought they looked good. I thought they really looked good. I thought Rangers outplayed much of the game. So
theoretically, you can probably, if the Penguins wanted, you could probably eat. He only has $10 million left. Due to him, he's got $10 million. You could probably eat Jari's contract. The biggest contract problem they have is over 11% of the contract goes to Carlson, which is a waste.
Well, why can't we do one of those deals where we pay like $6 million of it, and then someone else picks up $4 million?
You could. That's called a general manager.
Yeah.
Man, do something.
Right.
I don't know. Do it.
Oh yeah, I don't even know why he's here. I don't. He's like a rash that just will not go away. So
it's itchy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Rangers were outplayed for much of the game. I thought the Penguins played a very tight, disciplined game last night. I liked what I saw. Now, it's a small sample size. It's, you still got 81. Yeah, I mean, so they got the Islanders tomorrow night, home opener. And then I think Mike Sullivan, they come in over the weekend. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, a little bit of optimism. It's one game. I mean, a little bit of optimism. But let's talk. How do you think? What storylines are you guys looking forward to, or looking for? I guess in this season. What do you? Let's say you.
Really, when I look at the Penguins, I look at the roster, how it's built right now, and I think that the mistakes are made. We've said them over and over again, and it's been going on for years, right? I think this is the year that they really, truly, and this is the year. It's a question coming up. This is the year they need an actual general manager, right? Because you got to dump these guys. This is it. And if you can dump these guys, at the trade deadline, free up some cap space, because there's a lot of expiring contracts, right?
Oh, I'd get rid of Rust. I'd get rid of Raquel. I would do whatever I got to do to,
But you look at the expiring contracts they have for next year. Obviously, it's Malkin. You got Kevin Hayes. You've got Anthony Mantha, Akari, Lizette. You got Tomasina. You've got Connor Dewar. I mean, these are all expiring contracts. And on the defense, you've got Dumba, Clifton, and Ryan Shea. You look to offload that to create some large cap space. I look for them. The realistic expectations is we'll give it, over under 40 games, right? Can they win more than 40? That should be the over under we decide tonight, right? And then look to see if this is a crucial year for them, at least in my opinion. This is where you're going to make or break your franchise, right? because you're going to obviously keep Crosby. He's going to decide what he wants to do, but you got to shed everybody else. They just got to go, right?
Yeah.
As many people as you can offload, and then you walk into the year with, something like I don't know. Let's see, as far as caps. I mean, they have cap space this year at about 11 mil, but you can be walking in next year with an increased cap. You walking into the offseason with like probably 30 mil in cap space.
Yeah.
Plus
Right.
you have draft capital in the first round. I mean, this is where you need a general manager. If I were a Penguin fan, I would be just incredibly upset that I have to rely on Dubas.
Well, he's been terrible. He's
That's
been
what I'm saying.
He has
terrible.
been really bad, has he not?
He's been
But
god
that's who
awful.
you have to rely on to rebuild the franchise. This is the year because they waited so long. This has to be the year. They cannot roll into next year with having anybody on that roster except for freaking Sid, right? Can't happen.
Something's ringing, guys.
It's not me.
You guys do okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't me.
Not me.
Yeah.
Even my dog
I mean,
here.
you have to reshape the roster now. It has to happen.
Right.
If you have any chance of having any sort of relevancy, because you'll go in with money into the offseason to get free agents. Plus, you also have a good rookie crop, and then maybe you can start building something. Because if you don't, the teams, they're just continue to be bottom feeders.
Right. Well, I mean, it's an interesting. I want to talk about this real quick. It's an interesting blend of veteran leadership with young talent. You've got Crosby, Malcolm, Letang. You've got Kindle, Koivunen, Brunicki. I mean, it's very, it's weird. It's like water and oil.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, how's that going to impact
the year, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny last night. You're on there's a line of a couple teenagers and freaking 30-year-olds and late 30-year-old. It's just kind of like, I don't know.
It has to be the year that they revamp, because if they don't, it's going to be
yeah. I mean, Malcolm's
next year might be forced, right?
Malcolm's going to play the year out, I think, and that's going to be it for him. But I think you just got to unload who you can this year. And what's the expectations realistically? Expectations for making the playoffs this year? I'm going to say this. You guys can tell me what you think. I need to see more. You ask me by Thanksgiving, and I'll tell you what I think on that.
Well, you figure, Billy, after 21 games, a quarter of the season's gone. We should be able to know, right?
When is that, Eddie? Is that December?
I don't know.
No, it's by Thanksgiving.
Billy's right, by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, by Thanksgiving, you're about 20 games in. You're about 20-something games in.
Yeah.
And so I think at that point in time, I'll be able to tell you whether they're going to be making the play. I always said that. When John and I, and Ed, you're doing Puckett with us as well. But, I always said, by Thanksgiving, you kind of know what you got as a team. Because
I would give a pass into January though, Billy, because there's been a couple times where Crosby's gotten super hot and they end up on winning streaks in January and fix their position again.
Yeah,
right, but what's the over under? What are we doing? What's the over under? I mean, do we set it at 41?
Yeah.
82 points maybe up there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go Tracy, over or under? Which one? I'm writing it down right now.
80. They'll go over 82 points on the season.
Okay, 82.
It might be like 85, but they'll go over 82.
William?
86.
Okay. I say they're going to be at 79.
Okay.
It's written in stone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, we'll revisit this in, we'll revisit this in Thanksgiving, and I think by that time you kind of got a feel for how your team is, in the chemistry and how everything is. So, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's talk a little Pitt football here. I tell you what, it was pretty awesome win against 48-7 win against Boston College. Boston College isn't that good, but I tell you what, I like this true freshman quarterback that they started, this Mason Heinz Schnoll. I tell you what, man, I think you need to just stick with this guy. I think he's a better quarterback than Holstein. I know prior to coming on air, we were talking a little bit about this, and I've said it before that just the inconsistency of Holstein, and the guy's always hurt. He is always hurt. He can never stay healthy. He's always getting hurt. But
I think that's the best point you had right there, Billy. Like him not being on the field, just like you said with the Coach Knowles, always say that you repeat.
Yeah, you can't make the club in the tub.
That's
but
it.
Heistel threw 4 touchdowns. He was 30 for 41, 323 yards. You guys watched the game.
I did.
Did it just look like a better?
It looked different.
Smoother.
It looked like, it just looked like an offense that moved the ball down the field. Holstein makes some dumb mistakes. He does some really dumb things, and he does some very good things. Sometimes when he has good games, he looks really good, and But I tell you what, sometimes he has really bad games where you're like, how the hell was this guy recruited for Alabama? Granted, you didn't play Notre Dame last Saturday. You played Boston College, But I don't know. I thought it
counts as a win in the ACC though.
Right. But I thought,
what was my reaction? We can't say what I said, but my reaction was, it's absurd. This isn't hyperbole. This should be a 5-0 team. No one beat them. They
should be. They beat themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's beat them this year. They beat themselves. They did it against West Virginia. That's why I can't stand. That's why Narduzzi drives me insane. Yeah, they did it against Louisville.
Going 5-0 into Florida State.
Right.
And then they're easily bowl eligible, Billy, because they have Syracuse and NC State. They would win one of those. Say if they had won, they lose it. That's 5-1. You're going to win one of the next two, Syracuse and NC State or Stanford. You're going to be bowl eligible.
Agreed. Oh yeah, I agree. They've had golden opportunities. West Virginia, you should have won that game. There's no excuse that you should have lost that game. Yeah, there's no excuse that you should have lost that game. None whatsoever. Louisville, I really thought Louisville was going to be a different team than what with Miller Moss, and I thought, they were average against Pitt, and you still lost. You had a chance
dominating that game, Billy, till he lost his friggin' mind.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost his mind against the officials, and he did. He lost his ever-loving mind. But I thought it was a great win against Boston College. I thought it was much needed. And I'll tell you what, if he goes back to Holstein, shame on him. That's just stupid. I would start this kid.
I would play the hot hand. I'm totally with you.
Until this kid maybe makes a mistake or has where you have to pull him, then put Holstein back in there. But who's to say he's going to have that? You don't know what you got with this kid. I tell you what, he played a complete game, I thought, Saturday. Now, granted, like I said, it's against Boston College, but
and here's the problem they have now at Pitt, right? They should have won one, even if they won one or two of those games, because they play Florida State at Florida State. Then they have to win the next 3 to be bowl eligible. Syracuse, State, and Stanford, because their last 3 are brutal. Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Miami. You're not winning any of those.
Right.
It's brutal. So they screwed themselves. They should be 5-0, go 5-1, and just need 2 of the next 3. Because those last 3, good luck, man. Those are teams that are rising in the polls, right?
And I'm going to say this: Pitt's defense just swarms. They just swarmed Boston College. They limited it to 260 yards or 216 yards of total offense. You had a negative 3 rushing yards in the first half.
Yeah, dogs. They swarm. Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Lonergan,
that linebacker, man.
Yeah. Boston College quarterback Dylan Lonergan, he was pulled in the third quarter, 9 of 18 for 89 yards at that point in time. But I tell you what, like I said, this Heinzel, like this kid, it didn't look like this kid was rattled at all. He had a great game. I thought his reads were good. I thought he was accurate. I thought the offense just ran efficient with him in there, much more than I've seen with Holstein.
How did that kid Rasheem Biles get out of Columbus, Ohio? He is a player.
I don't know.
He is a player. If I'm running somebody's NIL or transfer window, I got my eyes on the kid. I'm gonna give him money. He can fly, Billy.
Absolutely.
He is a hell of an athlete at linebacker.
Yeah. All right. So we got Florida State coming up. Pitt against the series. They're 6-5 against Florida State. You've got a good rush defense in Pitt. You've got you've got a good rushing offense in FSU. I think they're ranked second in the nation right now in rushing.
Yeah.
You've got some aggressive style blitzing from Pitt.
It's a shame too because he's got a good squad, man.
Yeah.
And remember, did they get Reed back or not? He's a high ankle. Never mind. It's 4 to 6 weeks. He's in week 3, I believe, against Florida State. Yeah. So it'll be against Syracuse. Maybe they get him back.
Now you're getting Florida State.
It's going to be fun to watch either way. Yeah. I think it's going to be a real good matchup.
Well, now you got Florida State. They're coming off back-to-back losses to Miami and Virginia.
Yeah.
So now you got to. This is going to not be a. I assume. Have you heard any guys heard anything different? Are they starting Heistel?
I don't think they've said yet.
I assume they are. I what I'm seeing in the previews is he's going to start. So
it is Narduzzi though. So
I know, yeah, and that's what I'm. I just don't think you need to go back to Holstein at this point in time. I mean, if this kid would have had an average game and you would have squeaked out a victory against Boston College, I'd say, yeah, go back to Holstein. This kid was dominant, man. This kid threw for 323 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was very efficient. Like I said, he was,
They still have to win 3 of the next 7. Can they do that?
It's doable, I think.
It's achievable, at least. It really is.
Yeah. Syracuse, NC State, and Stanford. I could see him easily getting 5.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy if they did.
Right. Yeah, what are you talking? Let's pick Pitt and Florida State. What do you say?
They're 10.5-point underdog. It's on the road. This has got classic. This reminds me of the game last year with SMU. This is like a 40-10. If the running starts to get away from them, I think they're going to be able to hang initially because they do have a good defense against the run. But I just don't know how long you can keep Castellanos bottled up. They did it. Look what they did last year with Cade Klubnik. The whole for 59 minutes and 45 seconds.
Right.
They held the guy in. One mistake cost them the game. So
I know. That's been the mantra this year for Pitt.
Yeah,
they beat them. They beat themselves. They beat themselves.
Yeah.
These losses. These losses weren't teams that beat them. They beat themselves in those losses. Period.
Right.
So
and the over/under is 57.5. So they clearly think the number 2 ranked offense in the nation is going to explode. I think they're going to. Unfortunately, I'm looking at they minimize the turnovers. It's going to be a close game. It'll be a 3 to 5 point game, but I don't think they have it, Billy.
Yeah. We'll skip picking it. Let's just
30-20 Florida State.
Yeah. Trace, go ahead.
42-37 Panthers.
Woo!
Nice. I'm going to go 35-28 Florida State. So, all right, let's talk Riverhounds. What do they got to do to address these squandering of leads?
They went into the half 1-0 up. That's their freaking MO. That's their
How do you lose against Miami?
3 second-half goals.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
I watched that match. I could not believe what I was watching. I just could not believe it.
Luckily, everybody lost, right?
Yeah.
Which is helpful to them.
We'll be down covering the game this Saturday. You got Indy 11. This is a team you beat, back a few months back.
Well, you're 1-1 against them. You lost the Jägermeister Cup to them 1-0.
Right. True. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What are they going to do to what adjustments do they need to make to win and get these? This is crucial 3 points they need here.
They need these points desperately. They have to jump on them real fast. They've got to get an early goal, and then they have to not go into that freaking prevent defense. They're sitting on 37 points now, right? They have an opportunity to pick up points. Indy 11 is below the cut line, right? So they get 30 points here. Loudon lost last week. They're getting closer. They're only 4 points away from the coveted top 4. So it's you could say that. I mean, you're right, Billy. Must win, right? Must win. Just they have to.
I think you don't want to. I mean, a draw is not gonna. It's not gonna be
kill you.
Yeah,
it's not gonna kill you. But
it's not gonna kill you. But you want to. You want to win. So. But yeah. So. All right. Let's pump the other shows here real quick here.
Billy, read the last line on that show sheet.
Yes, I did. Yeah. All right. So let's look and see what we got here. So yeah, we got Friday 10:30. We got the wraparound with Pat Bernard. Check that out. We got the props, locks, and parlays with Mike Laura. That's at that's Wednesday. I think that's right after this.
Yep.
You got the attack and third. That's Thursday tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Or no, I'm sorry, 9 p.m.
Stevie Fuentes.
Yep. You've got the Birds Blast before us at 7 p.m.
My cousin
you got the Happy Valley Huddle, Penn State football post-game show with Mike Lauro. You got PM in the AM, Sundays at 9 a.m. with Pat and Mike. And you got the final word with Matty B. Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then you got us, Steel City Sunday. We've got a lineup this weekend. So just to kind of go over the
Saturday morning.
Huh?
Why don't they have our Saturday morning on there? Oh, never mind. It's on another one.
Yeah.
So
so what we've got going on. So I'm going to be at North Park Lounge for the pregame. John and Paul Zeiss are going to be down at Acrisure on site. We got Steeler Nation. That's we're partnered up with them now. So we're going to have 9 a.m. We're going to open with Steeler Nation. Justin is going to be joining. 9:15 and 9:55. We're going to have Zeiss on site. He's going to be down there. We're going to have another Steeler Nation guest at 10 a.m. Kevin. 10:15 a.m. We're going to have former Steelers offensive coordinator and former Browns offensive coordinator Todd Haley is going to be joining us at 10:15 a.m. We're going to have another Steeler Nation guest, B. Wall.
Really, is Todd still living in the area?
I have no idea.
Okay.
10:45, we've got Mike Osti. 11 a.m. Zig Fracassi from NFL Radio, Sirius XM. And then 11:15, former Steeler quarterback Duck Hodges is going to join us. At 11:30 a.m., we got former lineman Trey Essex going to be joining us. And then post-game show, we've got John Fedko joining us on the post-game show. We've got Jerry DePaula. He's going to be live at North Park Lounge, Richland, with myself and John Phillips. And that's what we got. That's what we got lined up for you guys on Sunday. So a lot of stuff going on. We've got a lot of big name guests, and we're really growing this thing. It's pretty awesome. So, but we will be back next week here, same time, same station, and hopefully, we'll be breaking down this Steelers Cleveland, and I'm sure we'll have some Penguins hockey to talk and see what Pitt can do up against Florida State. But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.